Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, this is just a follow-up on my Jeet Kune Do series, and what I'm going to talk about today is fighting dirty, and that's one of my specialties. Um, I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm going to give you some tips and pointers that could help you uh, if you have a street encounter. These are things that, uh, in the moments just before the actual engagement, these are things that you should be doing. You should be looking at your opponent, sizing up the opponent, uh, looking at advantages. And people, this is why when I had my lessons, my classes for domestic violence victims, especially the ladies and the children, but also for those that were bullied, I had a 50-hour lesson, and all of these were free to all of the victims. And I did this as because I myself, as a child, when I was growing up, from a very young age, I was bullied. And so, what I'm just giving you is the benefit of all of my early years and many decades of experience uh, in street engagements and street fights, because I was street fighting from the age of 6. And probably I got to be extremely dangerous, especially in high school. And the reason why I say I was extremely dangerous in high school is because um, of an incident that happened early on at Oakland High School, even before I had actually started my regular schooling there. It was during summer school that an incident happened, and it gave me a reputation through the rest of my years at Oakland High School. And my sister, to this day, still blames me for uh, um, her lack of dates during that time, because as soon as guys at school found out that she was my sister, they avoided her like she was a disease. So uh, I had a pretty strong reputation, and one of my reputation was, not only did I hurt you, but I was really dirty at it too, because one of my favorite go-tos in a fight, especially back during the 70s, because everybody had long hair. Even I had long hair, and that's one of the things that I take advantage of. And you see girls, ladies, women doing the same thing, but a lot of them have wigs. But on a man, where the hair goes, the head goes, and the body goes. So hair, the length of hair, that's why you'd never see me with long hair, because you're not going to be able to grab my hair and make me make my head go in different directions. And the same applies to facial hair, beards, mustaches, ears. Think about piercings now. Piercings on the eyebrows was used to be really popular. Some on the cheeks, on the nose, and kids were putting piercings everywhere. uh, those are targets. Those are red flag targets for me, because I see something like that, and we're going to end up having an engagement there, and throwing fists. Uh, I'm going to be targeting those areas, and what I'm going to be targeting is with a palm heel strike right to that piercing. And when you strike that, yeah, it's going to hurt. It is going to hurt. And in a lot of cases, it's really going to bleed. But if you want to guarantee a bleed, not only do you strike it, but then you hook it with your fingers and rip it. Rip them right out of the eyebrow. And believe me, nobody wants to continue a fight after you've done that. If it's in a lip, same thing. If it's in the nose, same thing. It's a target. And it's a target for being ripped out. And those of you that have those really big rings in your ears, oh my God, I love you. You make it real easy to to catch that ring and rip. And when you rip that out, there's blood everywhere. And speaking of ears, ears are removable. You have a person with those great big Dumbo ears, go for them. And there was one incident where I was actually in the process of ripping the ear off of this 19-year-old who was sassing me, and I needed to put the fear of God in him. And I was right on the verge of ripping his ear off, and he knew it. He felt it. He felt the pressure and the tearing right on his ear that I had a hold of, and it was just, I was just getting ready for the final blow to hit his head, and that ear was going to stay in my hand, and I would have had a handful of ear, and he wouldn't have had an ear, but he would have been bleeding excessively. So ears do come off. Like I said, um, facial piercings are great strike points. Other great strike points: bridge of the nose, the orbital eye socket, your cheekbone, the upper portion of your mandible. That is breakable, and also a point where you, if it's hit in at the right time, right place, you knock the person completely out. So these are some real easy pointers for dirty fighting. Also, if they have you in a chokehold with two hands, in my previous lesson, like I said, put your hands together, shoot straight up, and then at the same time, when you come back down, hook them. Get lock their arms into your pits, and you're holding their arms down. And this is the time where you come in with your fingers and jab them in the eyes. If you don't use the fingers, use the thumb. Uh, Thumbs and wrapping around their head is extremely effective, and put those thumbs deep into the eyes, and twist, folks, because if you when you twist that forces the eyelids open, and your thumbs into their eyes. And believe me, nobody wants to continue when you got your fingers in their eyes. And the 19-year-old that I was about to take the ears off, he did end up in the hospital, and he did need 7 stitches to close up his head from his engagement with me. And that's one of the things that I always strive for in the first 3 seconds, to make something above your shoulders bleed, whether it comes out of your ears, your nose, your mouth, or your eyes. Makes no difference to me. That's what I always target, and that's usually what I get within the first 3 seconds, because in the first 3 seconds, I watch that person's eyes go from "I'm the biggest badass that you're ever going to see" to the most terrorized person at the same time, because all of a sudden you see their eyes just shoot open in terror, because they know that they are in trouble. And that's my highlight in an engagement. That's my hot button. I'm looking to make those eyes go wide open and show terror. And that should be your goal. And that's also the reason why my classes were all full contact. Ladies and the kids, they needed to know what it feels like to really put a hurt on somebody, how to hit somebody, how to kick somebody. And we did this with full contact, as hard as you can. And when it came to the knees portion, I had a special apparatus for them to work and kick at, so that nobody's knees got blown out. But it was gave them the feeling and how much energy that they had to put into saving themselves and some of these techniques. So experience matters, and real full contact experience makes a difference, because punching air or punching a bag is not the same as hitting a person. it is very different, especially when they are going to be counteracting things that you're going to be doing. So this is the best experience, best possible experience. Like I said, when I had the classes for the ladies, I found that 2-hour courses were about all that they can take, especially with the amount of intensity and the amount of energy that the ladies had to put into it. This was a very tiring class for a lot of ladies, especially if you were older. My oldest student was 72. And she did very well in the class. And that's one of the nice things about Wing Chun, and also some of the Muay Thai strikes and knee strikes that I teach. These all help the ladies, and it doesn't matter how physical you can be or how strong you are or are not. Strength isn't a factor in this. It's all leveraging. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.